Okay, it's Labor Day. I just uploaded a new video last night, so I'm starting on the new one now. And this morning, I put up all of the siding on the side of the garage. Not exactly my favorite color, but it's up. So now I'm gonna paint. I got my tricorn black Valspar paint. I have 1 gallon left. I'm gonna see how far that gets me before I gotta go up to Lowe's and get some more. So here we go. All right, a little more progress for y'all. I have 2 coats of the tricorn black on here. Looks really nice. And I'm gonna trim out the top. I gotta do the soffit and the fascia and all that, which is gonna be black. And then this whole front side is going to have the 1x12 board and batten rough sawn siding, just like the rest of the front of the house. So I've been a little busy this morning. Haven't had time to do much else except for work on one of my camper trailers that I have to take to show somebody today that might buy it. So I have all the rest of the boards for the porch roof stained. They're up there. I just have to install them. Whew. Okay, I think it's Wednesday, September something. The sun's shining in the background. That's bright. So yesterday, good news. I sold my camper that has the rooftop tent, which gives me another $5,000 to get insulation done in the garage and a few other things that we wanted to do before it gets cold. So I'm going on vacation today, but let me show you what I've been working on this morning. So I've got the rest of this roof done this morning. Oops, looks like I left a few screws up here. Better grab those. Got all the rest of these 1x8s up here, and I had exactly enough boards. Exactly. Like, in fact, I'm short 1 board because I need to do a fascia board over here on that end. So I'm gonna have to get 1 more board for that, but I might have something laying around here. But look at this. Doesn't that look nice? Now we just have to do ice and water shield and then black steel on top of that. So now that I have this done, I can give all the measurements for this to the steel guys, which that's one of the other things we didn't have the money for. So that's really gonna help by selling that 1 camper. And so, yeah, I can get the measurements to the steel guys and have them cut that. In the meantime, I'm just gonna get ice and water shield up here, but I'm gonna let this dry out for a couple weeks. This is milled lumber, so it's gotta air dry for a little while. Oh man, I think the altitude's different here. We arrived at our 5-day, 4-day, something like that, vacation spot after like 10 hours of driving. We're in Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the next few days, and I don't think there's as much oxygen up here. We're seriously almost at the top of this mountain. I'll show you the driveway because Mrs. Z had a little mental breakdown after the trip up this mountain. She don't like heights, and the driveway is insane. Check this out. I don't know if you can even tell how steep this driveway is, but it feels like you're going straight up. But look at the views. Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Cabins everywhere. They all have this stunning view. Look at all these cabins. A ton of them are being built right now. Check out this one over here. I'll zoom in on it. Look at that thing. But this cabin that we're staying at is pretty sweet. I'll give you a little tour here in a second. Pretty neat though. This driveway is pretty insane, but this is the place we're staying in right now. Pretty cool. we've mostly chilled during our vacation, but we did go do some stuff in Gatlinburg. And yesterday we went to the Titanic Museum, which was really cool. Had some friends over last night that live in the Gatlinburg area that I haven't seen in a long time. And so I'm feeling pretty chill, but soon I'll be back working on the house again. It sure is beautiful here though. Look at, check out this view behind me. Oh yeah, pretty amazing. All right, y'all, vacation is over. I'm back to working on the house. We had a great vacation, and you come home to a million things to do. I feel like you get punished for taking vacation, but here I am. What I'm doing right now, as you can see right up there, I'm putting the foam on the tops of these headers. Hang on, I'll turn this around. So just like what you saw me do in the house, I gotta put these 2-inch pieces of foam above the headers like that all the way down here, and then I got to put in another piece of foam up here that blocks basically all of the light. Not that we have to block the light, but we're blocking the light because it's light out, and if we see light, that means we don't have insulation in there and we're going to lose heat. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I have to do with my whole soffit and the gap up there. I think what I'm going to do is build like a bulkhead that comes down here, vent it on both ends so air can get through there, but I'm not starting that quite yet. It needs to happen soon, but right now, since I know I have to do this, I'm going to work on that today. Okay, that went pretty quick, but it did take some time still. I probably have, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours into doing all this anyways. Got foam on the bottom and on the vertical space, and then filled in any gaps with the Great Stuff foam. So, by the way, look, my Jeep fits really good in here. Plenty of room with the 8-foot door. So, we're getting somewhere. All right, today was a busy day working on the garage. I closed in, except for the siding. I don't have the siding done yet, but closed in this end, the back side of the garage with house wrap anyways. And this one was a little tricky. I actually had to add some 1-bys right here on the outside of all my 2x4s here, because I don't know why we did that. Well, I know why, for the most part anyways. Originally on the house, I did OSB on top of the purlins and then the smart panel. And so we decided not to do the OSB, so I had to make up that difference. So that ended up being pretty much 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna have a seam right here where the new smart panel butts up to the old. I think I'm just gonna cover that with a piece of trim, like a batten, and I'll paint that black, and that will blend right in and look really nice. But we're kind of closed in here for the most part on this end. The other side should be much easier because I don't have to blend it in to an existing smart panel siding. I'll show you, because I have the board and batten siding over here, and I think what I'm gonna do, at least for now, is I'm just gonna do the smart siding on this side too, but it won't be as big a deal because I don't have to blend it in to match something else exactly like we have on the back side of the house. But I do have another tricky spot here. I'll show you. So this rafter right there is on the inside of the garage instead of the outside. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to fill that rafter in with 2-inch foam, the foam board for insulation purposes. And then I'm gonna run a 2x4 across there all the way up. So I have something to tie in to the soffit. I gotta do a really big soffit here because this overhang is like 4 feet and it takes a step down. So I'm gonna have to do a soffit there and then another fascia and then a soffit all the way back. And then that beam, I think I told you I'm gonna box that all in so it looks like a beam, and then do some sort of fleur de fleur here, something really cool. So yeah, that's where we're at. All right, so I got the smart panel on the back side of the house. A couple little tricky cuts up there around the drip edge, but not that huge a deal. I got this seam pretty tight right here, but I am gonna put some sort of a batten across that whole thing after I paint it. And I did talk to the building department this morning, showed them pictures of my bulkhead, and they said I either have to drywall the bulkhead behind me here and the entire ceiling, or I have to drywall the bulkhead and then go all the way up to the OSB, which that sounds like just as much work as just doing the whole ceiling. So I think I'm gonna do the whole ceiling and do just insulation while I'm at it rather than the spray foam. I think I'm just gonna do some nice thick bats between the rafters and then spray foam all the walls. So there we go, more drywalling. All right, it's Friday, September something, and I am framing in this bulkhead, making sure each piece of 2x4 is plumb and level. I've got a string line up there that goes from one side all the way to the other. That's nice and straight. I'm setting those back in 1/4 inch from the string line, making sure that's plumb, making sure the bottom bracket is level. And that's where I'm at. So nothing too interesting, just time consuming. All right, it's Sunday, September something. Here's a quick update. The porch is done and ready for steel on the roof. I'm still waiting for a price from the Amish guys. I have the trim for inside the garage doors done and stained. I just have to install it. I have the bulkhead completely framed in. All the little framing I needed for that is done. I am ready for a rough-in inspection. My boat's in the garage. It's very happy to be in the garage. And what else? I think that's it. So back here, I have all of the 2x8s stained for the inside of the garage doors. Once that dries, I can put those in. Yesterday I power washed my camper. It's much happier now that it's clean. And I'm on my way over to Lucas's to bring some furniture. So we're getting places. Oh, we also installed the batten covering that seam right there. And so I got to do soffit and fascia, put those inside trim pieces up, and then I have to drywall this whole wall right here that goes from the garage to the house. I have to insulate and drywall the whole bulkhead, and the drywall has to go all the way up to the OSB to meet code. Otherwise, I have to drywall the entire ceiling all the way down to that header. So for now, I'm just gonna drywall the bulkhead, and then I think we'll be ready for final inspection. Garage doors won't be here till like mid-October. So probably won't get those installed till late October, early November. So we're so close, so close. That's it for now. Tuesday, September something, and we're getting some rain. Look at the sun is shining and it's pouring. We've gotten a ton of rain today, a lot. So tomorrow I have the rough-in building inspection for the garage. Look at that weird lighting. And what else? Oh, my garage doors came in already 2 weeks early. So they are installing them tomorrow. So as of tomorrow, I should have garage doors. Can't wait to show you that.